Greetings, and welcome back to the MCOC Encyclopedia. Today, we will be taking a look at the newest champion to enter MCOC, Negasonic Tennage Warhead, or just NTW for the rest of the video. Early access on the Content Creator Beta means we can break down all her abilities and have a look at her both on offense and defense. NTW starts with a rather interesting ability, which is everything she inflicts is a passive. Her passive incinerates, her passive incinerate vulnerability, and also her stuns, her parry stuns, are passives. This is excellent for getting around a lot of those annoying shruggers or anyone that reduces stun debuff ability accuracy, but it does mean she can't take advantage of the pacify or the petrify mastery, and any points in despair won't matter either. Overall, I do see this as a positive, so good for her. All of NTW's attacks are energy damage, meaning she can bypass any and all forms of physical resistance and deal extra damage to champions with low energy resistance, and they do not make contact, meaning we can bypass most Thorns effects, Cork's Rock Shield, that sort of thing. It does mean, however, though, we can't generally parry her, though there are a few champions that can parry non-contact attacks. Both of her medium attacks inflict 1 incinerate as long as the opponent has fewer than 5, a nice way to get some starting damage, but not where her main incinerates come from. Her light attacks also pause currently active personal incinerates, and incinerate vulnerability passives 1.5 seconds. So light ending attacks keep everything paused, very nice. I will add also that the animations on her medium attacks are excellent, and they really feel like they have some power to them. You really feel it when you inflict those incinerates. NTW also has her Precognition Evade counterattack. This is a charge in the top right that will allow her to evade incoming light and medium attacks that make contact. A 15% chance, but then it goes on cooldown. This cooldown lasts 25 seconds, and we can also force Precognition into cooldown so she can't evade whenever she is knocked down, or whenever NTW is inflicted with a power burn, drain, or lock effect. However, critting her, including through the block, will remove 1.5 seconds from that cooldown. Finally, when fighting tech champions, Precognition begins on cooldown, allowing you to start the fight a bit more easily. An important thing to note is that she has a 100% chance to evade opponents' counterattacks, and this is primarily here to counter Bullseye. But other counterattacks such as Mordo should work as well. Regardless of how she evades, she will also inflict you with a stun passive, so no shrugging that off, and she'll most likely come in and combo you straight away. The stun passive lasts for 2 seconds. When up against skill champions, bleeds, evade, and true effects, so that's your true strike, your true damage, your true miss, your true sense, and so on, suffer minus 100% ability accuracy, and her evade doesn't go on cooldown when evading a counterattack. Again, this is all here to counter Bullseye. No bleeds, no counterattacks, you can just go in and out. Bullseye can't shrug off the passive stun when he would like to evade you, so you can just go in fairly freely. NTW's heavy attack can be charged for longer than normal, and the first hit inflicts a 50% incinerate vulnerability that we can keep paused for 1.5 seconds with our light attacks. On to the special attacks. The special one will refresh all personal incinerates, even if you block it, and the dex is a little bit tricky. She also inflicts additional incinerates for all hits after the first one. Her special 2 has a pause window in the middle where you need to rapidly tap the block button, and by doing this you can inflict up to 16 incinerates on the final hit. If you don't press it, or you press it less than 4 times, you instead get a random number between 4 and 12. This is what happens on defense. There is plenty of time here to get in all 16. What I tend to do is hold the phone in my left hand and sort of tap with my second and third finger very rapidly with my right hand. I am right-handed. And her special 3 inflicts 1 of her stuns, which is 2 seconds, and the incinerate vulnerability that doesn't stack, as well as 3 incinerates, all at increased duration. I don't tend to go for this, it's not wholly needed, but maybe in longer fights. And finally, the signature ability. As an attacker, NTW's evade counter will also inflict up to 3 incinerates, and her personal incinerates are paused during her special attacks. Additionally, strikers and counterattacks pause incinerates and incinerate vulnerabilities as if they were light attacks, so for 1.5 seconds. I don't hugely see this as needed, as the extra incinerates on counterattacks are nice, and pausing them during her specials is okay, but the special you're going to be throwing the most is the special 1, which refreshes them all anyway pretty much instantly. The striker hits, pausing them are also nice, and the counterattacks again, not hugely important. On defense, NTW will start with up to 100% of a bar of power. This can be quite concerning if she's placed on a starts at 2 bars of power node, as she'll go straight into a special 3. But apart from that, I don't see it hugely as an issue. She will get to that special 1 a little bit faster, but as long as you know how to reliably dex it, you should be fine. So on offense, the rotation I tend to work with is build a special 2, building some incinerates on the way. I tend to do light ending combos, and by the time we get to special 2, we should have 5 incinerates ready to go. Drop the special 2, now we're up to 21 incinerates, and then just keep everything refreshed and building with the special 1, and let them burn out. I don't find the damage super impressive, but let's watch this and see what we think. So, here we are, up against the contest's punching bag, Realm of Legends Winter Soldier, and we are using a 7-star rank 1 unawakened NTW, so roughly 6-star rank 4. We have no striker equipped either. We can see that without the Incinerate vulnerability, those incinerates are ticking for 72, and with it, once we get another one, we'll see they'll tick for 107. A nice increase, not major, but certainly you want it there. Firstly, we're going for our special 2 to build up a lot of extra incinerates, and I like to build up to high bars. Here we're at about sort of 2.8 bars of power, so that way we can get everything paused very quickly. So here we go, we're going for our pause on the special 1. And one thing I don't quite like about her special 1 is the gap that it creates between both characters. You can see here that I lose about a third of the duration on my incinerates before I can get back to my special 1 to refresh them, and that's just straight away. It would be really nice if the special 1 also paused the incinerates like your light attack does. A long special from him, and that's it. They're all gone. However, this isn't the biggest issue, because we can just go for another special 2, and I lost 21 incinerates, but now we have 19. So, it's not a big deal. The incinerates individually don't hit too hard, only 107 each, but they do stack up to 40, which means her damage ceiling is 4000 damage per tick. That's okay from this 7-star rank 1, so I imagine it might be sort of 6.5 to 7,000 by the time you rank her up a bit, but that's not massive in terms of damage cap. So here I found a smaller Winter Soldier. He's only got about 220,000 health, so your sort of Battlegrounds-esque health pool. Here we've gone for Incinerate vulnerability, and we're going for the same rotation. Build a special 2 to get a whole load of incinerates, and then build a special 1 if required to keep them paused. The point of this fight is to show what she's like in a shorter non-ramp up fight. And it's not something that I'm blown away by, but it's possible I'm missing something. We've got up to 5, the Incinerate vulnerability is paused, so now we can get up to our 16 like that. And now he's up to 21 incinerates, and he's ticking decently. We're keeping them paused with our light attacks, just trying to make sure. So these are the ones that I place with the medium, so those are going to fall off, but luckily we can save all of the 16 from the special 2, and he's ticking an okay amount, and we're just going to close it out. So overall, 220,000 health in 52 seconds. But now I'm going to bring in a similarly ranked Silver Surfer. This is a 7-star rank 1 as well. And we're just going to compare the damage output. Silver Surfer is not a champion that's wholly known for his massive amount of damage. He has a decently hard-hitting special 2. But, well, let's just compare. Remember that Negasonic Tennage Warhead managed it in 52 seconds. So here, with Silver Surfer, we're just going for our 3rd buff, so we're just going to wait for that to go round. So we're wasting a lot of time here. Phase that very nicely. Still waiting. Get hit. Still waiting. Still waiting. 1 hit. Go for our special 2. Some nice damage on that. Go in with the unblockable. Throw the special 1 for some extra power gain. Maybe should have waited for the Fury, but I didn't. And now we're going to close this out with another special 1. So that was a pretty clunky Silver Surfer fight. I got hit a few times. There was a lot of waiting. But that was 51 seconds. Still 1 second faster. On defense, the things we need to worry about are the incinerates, particularly from her special 1, and her precognition evade. We can put the Precognition Evade on cooldown simply by knocking her down, or when we start a fight with a tech champion. Power Burn, Drain, Unlock will also do this. To get around the special 1, it's a fairly simple dex once you get it down, and you just need to back up, and you should be fine. Don't push it to the special 2, and keep knocking her down, and you'll have no issues. So, there are my pre-release thoughts for Negasonic Tennage Warhead. Coming soon, we have our next defender, which by the current look of the poll will be Photon. I might do another maxed out champion video, because I quite enjoyed doing that one with Apocalypse. And, sooner or later, we will start Act 7. If you have any questions, please do leave them down below, and as always consider joining the Discord server. A great place to get specific advice, make suggestions for future video topics, and, while I'm awake, I do my best to be there, as much as possible. Thank you, and I will see you next time.